Hello everybody, this is Terry Jeanette with the Tapping Flamingo, and today's video is all about a collaboration that Clover and Crown and Metal Scrap and Chick are doing together. And they have invited anybody who wanted to join in to do so, and I decided to join in. And it's all about the June, or I guess the May-June 2021 Bargain Bead Box subscription navigator. And one of them picked 4 pieces out of this month's shipment, and the other one picked another 4. So let me show you what they picked. They picked these crystal rondelle beads in opaque red. These are beautiful. They're very deep red. So I was excited about that. And then they picked the lapis gemstone beads. I love lapis. I'm also excited about that. And then they chose these really pretty indigo crystal rondelle beads. They're little tiny, 3.5 by 2 millimeters. Brass ball head pins was something else that was chosen, which is good. Have some ideas on how I'm going to need to use that, because the other thing they also chose were these. Now, I'm a little disappointed because mine are all messed up. I did finally decide to go ahead and contact Bargain Bead Box, so we'll see what happened. I just barely contacted them through Facebook, so I just left a message, so we'll see. But they're all messed up. There is one in here. I think this is the one that's not so messed up. Just wanted to show you these. They're really kind of weird. This one's bent. But this one is not as bad, and I think I may just get a little hammer. I have a rubber hammer, and I'm going to try to pound out so it'll be flat. But I will definitely need these head pins for that. They also picked out these really pretty crystal rondelle jade white beads, which were one of my favorite pieces. And then they also choose these spacer beads. They're a rope accent barrel bead. And then the last thing that they chose were these 8 millimeter cathedral style crystal round beads in red and silver. So this is going to be fun to create with. So I was able to hammer this flat, finally. I was afraid I was going to break it, but these are actually a pretty substantial piece. And so I was able to get it back in shape again. And I hung these crystals on there. And this is going to be the focal to a necklace. So the next thing I need to do is put the split ring on there so it will hang correctly. And I'm using my split ring pliers, which are a lifesaver when it comes to stuff like this. As simple as that. Get these things. There we go. I am finishing up on stringing these beads together. I thought maybe I would explain to you my thought process. We had 2 different color reds and we had 2 different color blues. And I was okay with the blues, but the reds, I was afraid they were not going to look too good together. We've got a deep, almost burgundy red, and then we have this kind of more of a brighter red. And I played with these beads quite a bit before I came up with this configuration. That's why a bead board is so good to have. You can just lay them out and play with them for a little while. And that's exactly what I did. And I figured instead of putting the 2 reds together and the 2 blues together, I wanted to separate them out. And that way it didn't look like, oh wow, they are 2 different, totally different color reds or blues. It makes it look like it was meant to be that way. which it is meant to be that way. But I didn't want it to look random. I'm actually really liking the way this is turning out. And I love all the crystals in this. The glittering is just absolutely gorgeous. But I also separated out the blues and the two blues and the two reds by having silver in between everything. So I've got it all strung up, and now what I need to do, I'm going to get a clamshell bead tip for each side, and then I'm going to finish it off with the chain. This is what I like to use to finish off my pieces. I am not a crimp bead person. I am not good at it, and I'll be frank with you, I really don't like the way it looks. But a lot of people use these little clamshell things to cover their crimp beads. I just use them, and this is how I was taught probably 30 years ago. I just tie a couple of knots and put the knots inside there, and I use my pliers. By the way, I bought me some new pliers. They just came in yesterday. I'm so excited about them. And then you clip off the excess here. And then you do the same thing on the other side. Except for this time, you have to feed the knots into the opening there. So I just have this pin that I always use and feed it in there. And my second knot, same thing. Close it up and clip the excess off. And now for the chain part of it. And now I have it all finished. I used the toggle clasp and the chain. I just hung the chain from the clamshell bead tips. And then I used some split rings to put the toggle onto the end of the chain. Let me try it on for you so you can see what it looks like on. And here's what it looks like on. I love the bling. Also, if you just use the hashtag BBBMakerMashup, I'll put that down below too so you can check that out. And that way you can see all the other people that are doing the same thing. But make sure to go check Clover and Crown, Metal Scrappin' Chick. I'll put a link to their YouTube channels down in the description below too to see what they came up with using these gorgeous beads from the Bargain Bead Box, May, June 2021. I hope you give me a thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. It helps me out tremendously. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel if you want some more fun making jewelry tips and ideas and unboxings. But mostly, I hope y'all have a fantastically wonderful day. This is Terry Jeanette with the Tapping Flamingo signing out for now. Bye-bye.